It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighborhood? Yet again, another tier list. I know. I promise I'm getting to the movement reaction. That's what I was going to say. Also, I need to film some starter kits for these bands as well. I've done Radiohead and Coldplay. Now I'm doing Beach House. I'm going to do the Beatles. What if I did like tier list? Jeff Buckley. Grace goes right to the top. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I need to figure out more bands to do tier lists of because there's a lot of bands where I've heard all their albums. I just need to figure out how to rank them, or I need to figure out which bands those are because I've heard a lot. I've heard quite a bit. Okay, so today we're doing Beach House. This is my favorite dream pop band, arguably my second favorite band. Radiohead's my favorite. Coldplay was my favorite for a long time, but it's more for sentimental reasons now that they're anywhere up on that list. So Beach House might be my second favorite band, and then Neutral Milk Hotel might be like third. It's hard to say. I love this band immensely. There's something in this band's music that just clicks with me. It just... I love it. I'm going to do a starter kit on them. So I'm not going to talk extensively about different tracks, but we're going to dive right in with the tier list. So this is for people who have heard their music or just want to see me talk about the band and what I think are the best albums. This is kind of a mix between objective and subjective. I kind of try to balance the two things. But I don't think this is going to be a super controversial list. Maybe a couple choices, but I think it'll be mostly okay. We begin. 2006, their self-titled debut. It goes on B. This is a good album. Pardon me while I text my wife. This was a good album. I feel like people who know Beach House probably know Teen Dream right here, or they know Bloom, or I've heard Myth. One of these two albums right here. Seven has gotten a little bit of notoriety here and there, but I don't think many Beach House fans, like, casual fans, are going to gravitate towards the debut very much. But I feel like the cover art perfectly explains this album. If Teen Dream feels like this, Teen Dream and Devotion feel like this nostalgic, like, it's 1 a.m. and you're running with your friends through like dew-laden fields and like meadows, and you're just having a wonderful time as a teenager. And if Bloom is like the dark version of that, this is like if you go into an attic and open up like old chests and like start taking out like old scrapbooks and photographs and start looking at them. That's the best way I can describe it. I really like this album a lot. As an album, I don't like it as much as some other Beach House albums, but as an album itself, I think it's fantastic, and I think people need to give it a little more look-see, peek-see. Some tracks to note. I think that was it Childhood. I think Childhood. It's been a while since I've listened. Childhood is great. House on the Hill is great. Lovelier Girl is pretty good. Auburn and Ivory is nice. The first four tracks are kind of they sort of run together if you're not careful, but they're solid, and I like the mood that they evoke. How many tendies do I need to get my daughter? We'll get her three tendies for dinner. That sound good, guys? Yes, this is a spectacular album that I think more people should be aware of. 2 years later, we go to Devotion. This is a great album. This is a good one, guys. This lands right at A. Some people might put this at S, actually. And I didn't love this album when I first heard it. It didn't have much of a personality to me. Teen Dream like really captured me. Like I'll say this. Bloom was my introduction. Teen Dream was the second thing I heard. I heard Zebra, the first song off of that, and I was just hooked. And Teen Dream was just ooh. But then when I went to Devotion, I couldn't quite find my way in. It didn't seem like it had a lot of personality. It didn't feel as melodic as some of the other tracks I'd heard on the other albums. I'm like, it's kind of overrated, I think. But then one day it fit. I don't know. I think it made sense as a precursor to Teen Dream. It was kind of a lead-in. There's great tracks on here as well. Come to find out, there's a Daniel Johnston cover on here. I heard Some Things Last a Long Time, the actual track by Daniel Johnston, a few weeks ago, and I was like, this sounds really familiar. And I'm like, if I look at Devotion and I look at that track, is it going to say cover? And I go on it, it's a cover. I'm like, oh my gosh, this whole time, I didn't even realize that was not a Beach House song. Wedding Bell is good. You Came to Me and Gila are all right. Turtle Island is nice. Holy Dance is good. All the Years, Heart of Chambers, great. I love Astronaut. Darling, Home Again. They're all solid tracks, guys. This is just a really solid dream pop album. But I think it's just that solid. I don't think it's their best. Some people might. But who knows? What's the comment go? Fast forward 2 years to Teen Dream 2010. Holy crap. Holy crap. Boom, of course. No Other Place But Top. This is my third favorite album. If you look on my top 10 favorite albums video, which I should probably link in any of these videos, tier lists that have an album from that list. My third favorite album of all time, favorite dream pop album. I love this thing. Zebra's great. Silver Soul, actually Silver Soul and Norway are probably two of my least favorite on the album. Walk in the Park I love. Used to Be is great. Lover of Mine is great. Better Times, my favorite Beach House song. 10 Mile Stereo, that awesome crescendo. Real Love and Take Care is this smooth, bittersweet way to end the album. I love this thing to death. I've heard it so many times. So many times. Yes. Fast forward 2 years. Man, they're on the trajectory. Bloom. This was my introduction to Beach House, and it is a good introduction. So good, in fact. Boom. Sometimes this feels like an A to me, but it's consistently been an S for a while as well. Subjectively, I love Teen Dream more. Almost by quite a bit. But I think Bloom deserves to be right up there with it. Myth, Wild, Lazuli, Other People, The Hours. Fantastic 5 tracks to open the thing off. Troublemaker is solid. New Year is solid. Wishes, I think, is really good. And On the Scene, Irene. Just, again, nice way to end the album. I kind of see these as sister albums in a weird way. Like, Teen Dream is like this vibrant, nostalgic album that's like bittersweet, but also it's more sweet than it is bitter. This just feels like everyone turned off the lights, and man, there's something, I don't know how quite to quantify this album or describe it. It's dreamy. I'd say it's probably the dreamiest of the two, whereas Teen Dream has a little bit more of an indie pop aspect, not often as dreamy. But this is reverb heaven here, but not shoegaze. So, next albumin, Depression Cherry, came out 3 years later. They broke their stride. A lot of people are going to hate me for this. I put this at E. Keep in mind, F is like worst to me. I don't know why I have F on this list. I think it's just so that the video looks right, so there's enough tiers. This doesn't mean I hate the album. I just don't find the songs as compelling. I do like Levitation. I like Sparks. I like Space Song. I want to say 1037 is good. I don't quite remember, but like I can't even remember like PPP, Wildflower, Bluebird, Days of Candy. This might just be an issue where I need to listen to the album more, but it never hooked me. And I gave it a couple tries, and it just didn't grab me at the time. I listened to it when it came out, and I haven't listened to it much since. It has kind of a weird personality to it. I don't, again, like Devotions, like I don't know how to come at it. I don't know how to get in. But it's fine objectively. It's just at the bottom of this list for me because I feel like some of this other stuff is better coming up. So right after that, August 2015, October, just months away, they release Thank Your Lucky Stars, which I liked this one quite a bit more. I put this one at C. This one is also a little, I don't want to say forgettable, but because it was released so close to Depression Cherry, it kind of got pushed to the side a little bit. It's kind of like if you mix the aesthetic of their debut with Bloom, is the best way I can describe it. It's much kind of, it has the dreamy aspect, it has the dark aspect, but it also has like even just still in the photo, like young, I think it's a young Victoria Legrand like opening up an old doll or a present for her birthday. So it evokes that like, attic memories kind of vibe as well. Majorette, great track album opener. All Your Yaz is really solid. I like Elegy to the Void as well. Somewhere Tonight, I think, is really overlooked. That's so smooth. That sounds like it could have been on Teen Dream, honestly. Great stuff there. But again, I don't come back to it all that much because I don't feel like it has enough of its own personality. But that's just me. B-Sides and Rarities. This is a compilation album that came out in 2017. It features like a couple singles, I think. It has a different version of Used to Be on it. It has a song called White Moon, a different version of Norway. 10 Mile Stereo, the Cough Syrup remix. This is weird. I put this at D. Just because it's kind of inconsistent. I don't come back to it a whole lot. Things that I do like from it, though, Chariot I think is good. Equal Mind is fine. I like White Moon. The arrangement is actually probably my favorite song on the album. Saturn Song is fine. Rain in Numbers, I think, is the hidden track from the end of the debut. I don't care for the Winter Sun, Wherever You Go. They're fine. It's a fine album. Worth checking out if you like Beach House is really the end of what I can say there. Now, 2018, right? 2018, last year, they released Seven, their seventh album. This guy goes on B. Great album. Dark Spring's a nice opener. I love the way it just descends into Pay No Mind to the second track. Lemon Glow, I'm not super big on, and El Inconnu is probably my least favorite. Drunk in LA is this nice driving song. It's very progressive and it doesn't climax a whole lot, but it kind of locks you in. Dive, probably my favorite song on the album. Black Car is this awesome, brooding song. Lose Your Smile, I think, gets a bad rap. I like the acoustic guitar in it. A rarity in Beach House. Woo, I think, is fine as well. Girl of the Year is actually kind of boring. Surprisingly, it's so simple, whereas Beach House is so good at being simple. It's almost too simple, and it just is kind of boring. And Last Ride is this awesome, like, send-off. But it's just kind of slightly inconsistent, which is why it stays at B. But, like, those top three, Teen Dream, Bloom, and Devotion are just like this echelon. And I find the debut to be this nice kind of like little side ornament thing to that. Everything else just kind of is great, but not as great. That's how I feel. Let me know what you guys think. What are your favorite Beach House albums, songs? What would you change about my tier list? Do you hate me? Will you dislike the video? I need to know these things. So again, I will get on those album reactions soon when I have the time. I'm eager to start in on New Order because I've been waiting for that for quite a while. Then after New Order, I think I'm going to do Psycho Candy by, what is it, Jesus and the Mary Chain? Something like that. I'll do that one, I think. That'll be a nice kind of way to follow up after New Order. And after that, I'll do like another bigger one that's been requested a lot, I think. Who knows? I'll do whatever the hell I want, when I want. Thank you, everyone. Stay true. Keep your hearts in line. And don't eat the yellow snow.